Yeah. Certain people that are like in the brunt of the end of the world, cops, ambulance people, medical people, fire people, the people in the brunt of this, when they get too overwhelmed or scared, that you can tell it's true. People are not allowed to die until God decides now. And people suffer too much beyond what should already be death, and keep suffering and don't die. And yeah, they turn to God, and they turn to my queen, my queen, my queen. And we can't help them through the country. The country's an enemy. We can't help them through the location if overall the location's an enemy or not good enough. So the only help we can give them is to their direct soul, based on their own personal morals directly. It's not the same. When you own a whole Amazon, you can spoil the holy moly out of everyone as long as they're just good enough. When you just have one soul in a company, it's as good as your soul can get in that company. Now that's the end of the world for you. The United States tried really hard to make sure nobody paid attention. The United States tried really hard to make sure nobody would care. The United States put everything into the joy of watching people just walk into a nightmare that happens overnight, and then they're screwed. Will the guilty understand that they're in perpetual death and can't get out? Sadly, gods would never care. But when leprosy existed because of what they were dreaming about doing to Jesus in a bad way before he even got to earth, leprosy people just knew that they were screwed and no one cared about them. So yeah, I think they kind of figured out after a while that they're just too disgusting, and they just had no right to exist when you get too disgusting. Jesus owned the earth. Jesus deserved everything. Jesus can do whatever he wants. Not some stupid human that wakes up, thinks they're God, and believes they can do shit against Jesus. Those are the ones that just kind of have to sit and rot and realize that they're nothing. And that's a big thing with God. God the Father is very passive and loving. But if you drive him to anger, he's very sickening and horrifying. When they were gross towards Jesus, and they had no reason to do anything. When they were bad against Jesus, and they had no excuse doing anything. God would let them rot and rot and rot until God saw their brain realize, I'm nothing, and Jesus was everything. It was something God had to see. God had to see the rotting result of thinking you're ever going to go against his precious son or heaven in any way. So yeah, will they sit at some point and know they're gross? They didn't own earth. They were gross. They don't even have a right to exist. Nobody likes their existence. Nobody wants them to exist. Heaven means everything. Heaven owns everything. They should have been grateful to just receive whatever heaven has to bring. And if they didn't want to be around things, just don't go near things. And don't earn like any divine appointments to any extent. But this is a fuck you planet. This is an abusive, sickening planet. This is a planet that will never have a conscience, never think twice. It is what it is. But sadly, they don't die once, and none of it is good. So the other sad thing is, as they die more than once, none of it is a good thing. Unless you fall asleep and God's help you to just peacefully wake up with an angel and go to heaven, most all other death is horrifying. As they die once or twice, but the gods don't allow them to die, they'll realize it kind of piles on each other. And after a while, they look like people that should be at a cemetery as a ghost. You can't change life, people. I think I said IVs won't work. Go to my queen, my queen, my queen. Look around, people. No one gives a shit. As they are suffering more and more and more, they were watching these videos more and more and more. And then the United States and Dubai would just alter the views. As they're rotting in death till it's horrifying, they want to live on these videos to see if they have any hope. While the United States and Dubai make sure there's barely any views on the stupid how many view thing. Life is a very end of the world scary place. And you can't change it, because I guarantee all day they'll be laughing and I'll be having middle fingers. Or all day there'll be something that gives you encouragement. Reminds you that good people are why we're down here. And just is what it is, man. But always remember, if it's your loved one or something that suddenly is so dead all the time, just remember, my queen, my queen, my queen, it was that easy. They could have been terrified. They could have tried to just backpedal. They could have, but they wanted to laugh and laugh, like Noah's Ark and Sodom and Gomorrah. They just wanted to laugh and fuck you, laugh and fuck you, laugh and fuck you, laugh, till they hit that windshield. Remember, they could have tried anything to try to live and survive. Now, you're hitting the part of the Bible where the book of Revelations said, you will leave mother, brother, and more at the end of the world. And I had told you, whoever leaves their mother and brother at the end of the world. And then I've just told you recently, parents didn't even know their kids were serial killers and still treated them like precious children when they were serial killers. Most parents and sisters put up with their shitty relatives forever. The book of Revelation says you'll leave your mother, brother, and more at the end of the world because you'll die as badly as they die for aiding and abetting and taking care of and spoiling and befriending their criminal activities against God. So if you stay with your relative that's a 666 or a serious crime against God, you have to die you have to die all the same fate as them to a certain percentage. So they're going to be told from today until I don't know when, they will be told and shown how much they will die forever if they stay near their sickening, disgusting against God relatives. So around the world, angels and more will be flooding the planet and telling people what they will die by being near whatever relative and why, the crimes of the relative. So pretty soon, everyone on this planet will know the sins and crimes and more and secrets in the corner of pretty much each other all the way through. The survivable will know everything about the bad people. The bad people, oblivious because they're dead. Why tell them anything? They die forever and they know it. Their crimes were serious or sickening or gross against a God, and they knew they shouldn't have been doing it. So there's no reason to talk about their death. They're just dead and gone. So here we go.